Hey there. Welcome back to the Second Lunch Podcast. I'm your host, Chris Moran, with my co-host, Colby. And Colby, are you familiar with the yips?
I've heard of the yips, but for the unfamiliar listener that may not be a sports fan, do you want to give a little rundown on what the yips is?
So the quote yips, in a broad term, it's most common in baseball, but in a broad term, a simple explanation is you fail at doing something extremely simple one time, and it gets in your head so deep that you just cannot do it. The classic one is there's been several catchers who started having issues throwing the ball back to the pitcher
Right.
just after a pitch.
Yeah.
And would have to either walk it out to them or roll it, because anytime they'd try to throw it, they'd throw it over there. They'd sail it into center field. They just couldn't do it. It's like the easiest thing. They could throw somebody out at second base who's trying to steal, but they couldn't do the simple thing.
Yeah, was Saltalamacchia one of those guys? Not that we got to get into specific, but I remember he went back down to the minors for something like that, and it's like he could still throw to second at like 92 miles an hour.
Greg Zahn was one I remember, because it happened when he was with the Brewers.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's the yips, and there's been plenty of examples in sports over time. Have you ever had the yips? Any?
I'm a constant choke artist, so in that sense, I'm always got the yips with different things. But that's where, so like something like throwing the ball back to the pitcher. Admittedly, I've never had the yips like that because there's no stakes.
You're
and
very rarely catching.
Right. Like, and can I, make certain throws? I'm not saying every single time I'm gonna, but like free throw game on the line, you don't want me to be your guy. Free throw up by 12 or down by 12, much better scenario for me. So to that end, one guy that I only found out this past week had the yips, so that made it perfect for me, just educationally, is the 90s Orlando Magic that had Shaq and Penny Hardaway, and their point guard for those teams was Nick Anderson, who's actually shown up in a few like NBA 2K. You've probably played with his card.
Yeah.
But during, I believe it was the 95 finals against the Rockets, in game one, he bricked like his final 4 free throws of the game. Houston's able to come back, tie it. They win in overtime. I think they end up sweeping the Magic, so who's to say him? But regardless, his free throws would have clinched the game one, and it didn't happen. It didn't even rear its ugly head until like a couple years later, but as a point guard, he got all the way down to like 40% from the line. Oh,
God.
As a point guard. Yeah. Just
granny shot. You got to start granny shot at that time.
And they had to start pulling him out of late game situations, which it's like Ben Simmons 1.0, I guess you'd say. Yeah.
That just makes your yips even worse, I imagine.
Yeah, exactly. Because now you don't have the confidence of the coach, which, I mean, you shouldn't, but also it's not going to help the situation any.
I recently developed the yips.
Yeah. I'm sorry for going off about Nick Anderson.
We have this. It made me feel better, honestly, for what you're about to learn. But we have we have a half driveway on the back side of our house, and there's an alleyway. We don't have like a full length driveway, so you can't park nose in. You have to parallel park, which I'm good at parallel parking on the right side of the, you're backing in on the right. The way we have to park coming through the alley, you have to go left. And so I don't do it as smoothly as I do the right hand parallel park. But Katie, every time she sees me do it, she's like, "God, you're horrible at this." And it got in my head. It legitimately got in my head, because I would get out and I'd be like, "Oh, I parked perfectly. What are you talking about?" But the last time she was in the car with me, and maybe it's because I was being heckled, she's telling me how bad I am at it, that I'm not doing it in like a 3-point style, maybe 4. I couldn't. I had to try it like 6 different times. I eventually just parked in front of the house. I was like, "Fuck this. I don't know what happened." And so that night, she still doesn't know this. She went to bed, and I went out and practiced. And I biffed it a couple times. There was a couple times. So we also have our garbage cans back there, so it is a little tight, and I'm not trying to like drill the garbage cans. One of the times I drilled the garbage cans.
Yeah. Came in a little hot on that one.
And I pride myself on being a pretty good parker, so it was like really affecting me. It still is, honestly.
See, I'm not a good parker, so when I scratched the rims on my new car fairly quickly, I mean, it was very light.
Finally,
whatever.
The pressure's off.
Yeah, who cares?
Yeah, I can't do that first again.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, another thing that happened with Katie. We'll do this before the questions, just because we're kind of already talking about it. Do you or Ashley ever get like jealous of what the other person follows on Instagram or social media or something like that?
I don't think so. I think we've got so little social media presence. I don't think that there's. Also, for me, it's 100% cats and dogs.
Yeah,
there's like nothing else happening.
Mine is a lot of dogs and sports and butts. There's a lot of butts. Katie's been pretty cool about it. She gets that I appreciate the female form. There's never been an issue, but the shoe's certainly on the other foot. I was looking through her Instagram followers to see, one of her friends said that she just had a post go viral. I was like, bull fucking shit. So I went to go find her friend in her followers list, and this one guy popped up on there. And so I clicked on it just because I had never heard of this person before, and she was pretty much only following her friends. And it was just this guy smiling. It shook me to the core that I'm literally just staring at like pretty much naked women on my feed, and all she wants is a guy that's smiling.
It's a bit of an indictment on you.
It's like for her, a serious indictment on me, and he's not even that good looking. Honestly, he had like a link tree. I clicked on the link tree. I'm like, please have an OnlyFans. Like, please, something like somewhere he's like showing dick or so. Just make this pornographic somehow, because this is
a little too serene.
Yeah, all you want is somebody smiling. Well, fuck.
Yeah. Well, hey, at least you've got a low bar to clear.
Yeah,
hypothetically.
Seriously. Oh,
don't try the left-hand parallel park.
It sincerely would have been better if she was just following like the hottest models ever. I would have been so much better with that. It was just some fucking guy smiling and then like kind of singing along to music. It was just like, fuck. It was the most cringe thing. It hurt. It truly hurt.
Like singing fucking Banana Pancakes, and you're just...
Yeah. Oh, look at this fucking dreamboat. He's just the most average looking guy. God damn it. It was so frustrating.
There is something to be said about if she's following, certain models or whatever. It's like, well, I probably don't have to be threatened by that guy. I don't think that she's going to get to meet Tyrese.
Yeah.
If she does, I guess the game is on at that point.
Yeah.
But likelihood is low. But yes, just some fucking guy. Like, he could be an Enumclaw. I don't know. We might have to go fight this guy.
Yeah, what's also annoying is it's like every butt account that I follow, it's like hundreds of thousands.
Oh, it's not attached to one. Oh, you're saying
and then this was just like one guy who had like 8,000 followers. I'm like, God damn it. It also annoyed me in another way that like I'm trying to grow our social media presence. And we're at like maybe 200 followers on TikTok right now. And then I'm like, well, what if I just smile and sing along to...
That's what the show's really missing.
Yeah.
That's what the podcast is lacking.
Me singing along to Cats in the Cradle or some shit.
Yeah, exactly. Is that... So, yeah, do you remember what he was actually singing along to?
I was so mad. No.
Something hot.
I think that's what it was. It was like, at least it could be something unattainable and like lust worthy.
Yeah, but
just a fucking guy smiling. God, I'm still annoyed.
Just a guy making a frittata. Like, well, I could theoretically do that.
No, I wish he was doing something. That was the other bad part. He was literally just staring at the camera smiling. It was so annoying.
Yeah, because then you'd be like, oh, you like the talent or the cooking or whatever.
Yes. No, literally just a smile. Fuck. Can't compete with that. Resting dick face over here.
If scientists discover your body a century from now, what will they find in the stomach?
I think I'm going to send them down quite the rabbit hole of they're going to be like, what are these little pockets? And they're going to have to figure out what Tostino's pizza rolls are.
See,
Pop-Tarts.
So in this scenario, my guess is that we've died in a bog, because I think if you die in a bog, I think that'll like preserve you're good to go. If I know I'm gonna die, I'm definitely eating some funny stuff. A few paper clips.
Just to really throw them off.
Yeah, exactly. I guess people ate paper clips back then.
Just like robots.
Times was tough, and needed some iron. What's the actual likelihood? Pho. Because there's a pho place like 2 blocks from the house, and between hangovers and just the occasional Tuesday, I'm there at least once a week. So that's like the most, I wouldn't even call it my favorite food. It's up there, but yeah, beef noodle soup is the thing they're most likely to.
Yeah, pad thai's up there for me.
Yeah.
Actually, now that you mentioned that.
I mean, when you've got a close lunch spot, makes it a little bit.
When you said hangovers plus, I was like, oh shit. Well, yeah, teriyaki, pad thai.
Yeah. So here's a question for you. Are there any foods that you or Katie have overdone for each other where you're like, I used to really like XYZ, but I've eaten too much. I've been exposed to simply too much teriyaki or whatever it may be.
She does that with sushi, man. But I used to like sushi until I had bad sushi one time.
That'll do it, though.
In Vancouver, and the good Vancouver, and I've never felt that sick in my life.
Ooh, you got actually poisoned. See, I've just had bad sushi, but it was just poorly, sinewy tuna, like kind of hard to get through, and they didn't fully get the pin bones out of the eel. That was a bummer, but never anything that harmed me.
Yeah, that hurt. I went to bed because then I ate that and then had to get in a car and drive myself however many hours home with fucking Shane in the car yelling at the Orlando Magic on his laptop. And it was just
really exacerbating.
Yeah. I got home and just immediately got in bed at like 4:30 p.m. and was like, if I die, I die. Whatever.
Vancouver sushi was the thing that finally.
I woke up at like 1 the next afternoon. And felt a little better, but I was like, never doing that again.
Yeah, no, that's fair, and that'll set you off of that food for a long time. That's valid. No, because Ashley, she's a little bit picky, and so that means it limits our menu sometimes. And there are
cheese.
Yeah, well, there's not. I can't think of any restaurants that have just been eliminated on a cheese basis, but certainly menu items for sure. But yeah, like certain things have lost a bit of their luster. Certainly. All pizza is just not quite what it used to be. Yeah. And teriyaki to a lesser extent. Teriyaki's amazing, but...
Oh, you know what? I did that to Katie with calamari. I had a rule for a long time that if we went to a place that had calamari. I got very Wisconsin for a second. That had calamari, that we had to get it. I still have that rule with like a giant pretzel as well. But then I just started purposely picking places that I knew had calamari, and she got over that quick.
Just combing through the vetoing perfectly good burger
so that's
places.
Kind of a you're on your own thing.
That's fair.
Calamari now.
That's fair. I do like calamari. It's been a long time since I've had it. Now that you mention it, Chris, how do you acknowledge strangers?
I was thinking about this because there's only a couple ways you can do it. If you are ever in the unfortunate circumstance that you make eye contact with a stranger, you have to do something.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I don't know. I feel like some people may be able to just ignore it and pretend like just carry on with their day.
Yeah, I've seen them. Basically, I encounter them on my walks. I'm like, what's wrong with me? I'm not worthy of a good morning.
You can either do like the half smile. Full smile is creepy. If you go like that's, but you can give them like the obligatory smile, or you can do the down nod. You can do the up nod. That little wave, that's pretty much
the
it.
Partial.
But it can't be the full hand. It's got to be like a couple fingers. You can't give the full effort.
There can't be any elbow involved. You're not Clayton Kershaw. You gotta.
If you give all 5 fingers on a wave, it's almost like you're trying to flag him down.
It's like the universal distress signal.
Yeah, exactly. I need help.
Is your boat sinking? Yeah. No, we're in Carkeek Park, man. I'm just walking by.
But yeah, I noticed I'm a down nod guy. Big down nod, because I feel like if up nods, I feel like you have to be like thought, like THOP, thought.
I see. I don't know what that means, but
it's up. But
see, I have perception concerns because I'm always like, I'm not cool enough to do the up nod.
That's kind of where I'm at too.
Yeah, I can't do that. It's like going in for the handshake. Like, is this going to be professional or is this going to be like cool guy handshake?
Yeah.
But, I go with professional because I'm more going based off what their perception of me might, and now we're in a whole
see, I have to
mental
do strong
chess
guy
warfare.
handshake.
Oh, like
where you go in a little too deep and a little too hard.
See, I don't like those because those are. I like a firm handshake, but there were too many people that I've worked with in the office setting over the years that do like the power play handshake things, and it's like, dude, we're fucking nerds. We'd all get smashed by a real. Are you serious? Like, don't try to fucking ironworker handshake me. I'll fucking kill you.
I have
like,
people
get the fuck out of here.
People try to do that to me all the time. I think because they think I'm gonna aggressive handshake them, that they cut me off at like the knuckles with a firm one. So that's why I got to go. Like I got to make a point to go in deep. So I also kind of go in over the top rather than thumb straight up.
Yeah, that's also one of the power play handshakes. Then also using both hands. There's also scenarios where you're supposed to do it.
Using both hands is pretty cool.
It's something. I don't know.
That would get me.
Here's the thing is that there's like certain scenarios where you're supposed to do one versus the other. And it's like, man, if somebody shook my hand like 80% of these ways, I just think they're a fucking weirdo that read this book about shaking hands. Like my only thought would be, oh, you read that stupid fucking book. Like, it wouldn't be, oh, he did the Admiral's shake.
For the longest time, ironically, until I like became a professional stand-up comic, I used to shake people's hand, just like go in like a regular handshake, but I'd pull my middle finger back and tickle their palm.
See, now that's way more professional than any of the other ones.
It's pretty fun. But then I did that to like a headliner one time, and they were just like, what the fuck? Like this, I have to work with this person all weekend. And I was like, oh, okay, well, I'm going to stop doing that to adults, I guess.
Doesn't sound like a very fun headliner. What was this, Todd Barry? Like...
Todd sounds like pretty fun.
Oh, I mean, yes, but he is persnickety, and he is known to be such.
Dude,
when you're
most comics are not fun. They're just miserable people.
True. It does kind of feed into the cliche and who we expect to be comedians.
Yeah, there's a reason I don't do stand up anymore, and it's basically other comics.
I figured it was because you had reached some degree of personal happiness. But
well, kind of
naturally pushed
you don't want to
away.
be around that many unhappy people. Yeah, that much unhappiness. Yeah, it's funny because people are always like, man, doing comedy must be so fun. All your friends are so funny. It must be so fun to hang out. Not fun at all. Constant one-upsmanship. Just, not fun. I mean,
everything's the green room.
Basically, the comics that we've had on here that I clearly know. I mean, I would say Ian Baggs, maybe the only one I'm not like pretty personally close with that we've had on, are like the few that I really enjoyed.
Yeah, people that are really good and therefore comfortable with themselves. Yeah. They don't have to.
We should just get a couple like shitty comics on here with us.
Fuck, we should have pilfered the people from that terrible open mic at Supreme Pizza.
Oh my god,
that's too. Well,
we don't have enough anti-Semitism on here.
Yeah, it's really in vogue right now to do that, to be anti-Semitic. So, yeah, we could have got a half dozen assholes from down the street.
Yeah, what I meant was we should get some good comics that are assholes. And then just pit them against each other. We just sit back and we let them try to
like
top
a battle bot sort of a deal.
Yeah,
that's a good idea. Pick your fighter. Okay. Would you rather travel to the past and meet your ancestors or travel to the future and meet your descendants?
I don't want to meet whatever descendant I'm responsible for giving gout to.
Oh, you think that it'll be like a Boy Named Sue thing? Well, they'll be like, I fucking found the guy that did this to me.
This is the guy with all the shitty fuck. This is why I'm bald and have gout at 14. No, but I kind of want to go back and see who the fuck did it to me, though.
Oh, see, that is sort of a revenge. Have you had flare-ups lately? I haven't heard you talk about that.
No, I've got it pretty well under control. Really have the allopurinol dialed in, but
you got the tart cherry juice.
But it's always there. Anytime something kind of starts aching, I'm like, oh fuck, it's happening.
Gotta cut it off at the knees before it fully emerges.
Yeah. How much prednisone am I going to need for this one?
There are some very funny old depictions, like old-timey newspaper cartoon depictions of gout as basically a terrible little demon that lives in your big toe.
Yeah, like kind of like that's not mean enough. It's way worse than that.
It's just like a meat grinder that your toe is in. Slash, I know it can go beyond that, but I know the big toe is where the fun
big toe
starts.
is the main one. Knees and ankles, it's joints, basically. Yeah. I don't know if I've talked about this before, but so I'll be brief. But I had a really bad flare one time where I was going to have to officiate a wedding, so I was going to have to shove my foot in like a small shoe on top of already having the worst flare I've ever had in my life. And feels weird saying it, but my podiatrist was out of town, so I couldn't just call and get prednisone to get the shit to go away. And so I had to go see a new person who was like, since I haven't seen you before, I can't just give you steroids, but let's try an injection. And immediately I'm like, fuck that. Yeah, I don't even want you to touch the fucking thing, let alone stab it with the fucking needle.
Injection of what? Cortisone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was the only route. And I was like, well, if it might work, I have to try something. So she puts the needle in. Dude, I literally blacked out. Katie said I cursed really, really loud. And then I came to sweating and like the room kind of spinning. That's how bad it hurt. It hurt so fucking bad. And then it just made it worse. And I still had to shove it in a shoe and go officiate a wedding.
You just got the thrilling experience of a blackout in a doctor's office.
Swearing at a stranger.
Yeah, exactly.
Which I don't even get to remember.
Well, at least you got 2 minutes of podcast content out of it. For me, well, I won't have ancestors to visit of my own. So I ruined that one.
Oh, well, maybe Clay will.
True.
There could be further Finchins somewhere.
Absolutely. It's certainly possible. But I will just say in general, past versus future, give me the past every time, because the future, I'm already confused now.
Yeah,
in the timeline I currently occupy,
the past is pretty confusing though.
Past is admittedly confusing, but I have a better grip on what's happened and also what's coming next, like what to get a little bit prepared for. Like, it's 1913, we might have a big old war coming here soon, versus it's the year 2062. I don't know who's won the war of Amazon versus Disney. I'm stepping on skulls. And
if I'm going back, it better be way back, because like all my family comes from the American South at some point, which there just some bad stuff could happen.
You gotta jump over that one. Yeah.
I don't want to know about that, but what was it like in Germany?
To that end, like my dad's side, all Irish folks that immigrated during the famine. It's like, okay, I probably want to get back way before the famine at least. Mm. And then also, if I'm not going back that far, I want to make sure that like the Irish aren't quite hated to the same extent. Mm. Like, don't go back to right when they landed on Ellis Island. You're probably going to have not a great time.
Yeah. I also am like randomly related to some famous, like I'm related to Paul McCartney. Closer than you'd think. Not close enough I could get in touch with the guy. Yeah. But he's like my grandma's second cousin.
Oh yeah, that is, not too crazy.
And three NFL football players. I want to see what else. There's got to be more famous people.
I don't think I've got anybody
or something.
Yeah. And if it is, I'm gonna go back.
With my luck, it's like Jack the Ripper or something.
Well, at least we don't know who he is. So you're clear, but yeah, it might be. We know who Bundy is. You never know.
Yeah.
Okay, so sorry here. This one, Chris, I'm going to just lob up to you because I'm not sure. I think I have an idea of where this goes. Dad tax.
Yeah, so I've been trying to teach Kendall what dad tax is. Generally trying to teach her about taxes, which, at 2.5 may be a little much for her. But
she seems ready.
She knows that whenever she takes out the Bluey fruit snacks, that there is a price to pay.
Which is at least one Bluey fruit snack.
There's a price to pay for eating that in Dad's presence. But now it's gotten to the point where I don't even ask. She's like, Dad, take your dad tax. Like, as soon as she opens it, she's like, take your dad tax. And for some reason, she thinks it's the blue ones. So, maybe because those are the ones I tend to take the most. But yeah, so whenever she sees a blue one in there, she's like, oh, dad tax. And I'm like, no, you already paid.
It's either the one Chris likes the most or that she likes the least. I don't know who's fooling who here.
Yeah. Eventually she'll figure out she can just give me the one she likes the least. But
for now, she's being sweet about it.
Yeah. She makes sure she's settled up. She's never going to commit tax fraud or anything like that. She's going to be paid up.
Well, I mean, she also paid up on the baseball card, right? She's starting to open baseball cards, so she paid up on somebody.
Dude, it's so funny because I keep trying to explain to her the Brewers for when the Brewers are here in a couple weeks. We're going to go see them. So now every once in a while, just out of the complete random, she'll go, "Dad, your favorite player is Jackson Churio." And I'm like, hey, that's amazing. Maybe I should stop taking dad tax.
Maybe she's paid her share for today.
Yeah. Yeah, did you ever have to deal with dad tax growing up? Did your dad ever take dad tax?
He really didn't take too much dad tax. Occasional bite of stuff. No, dad was more, the dad tax was, you got to go get him a beer. Which is pretty reasonable.
That's good.
It's pretty reasonable.
Yeah. Hey, you got to get your steps in.
He's like, yeah. He's like, I got you kids something from the store. Also, I'm going to sit down. You're like, go get your dad a beer.
All right. That's respectable.
Yeah, I get a payday out of this?
Yeah. All right. I think that's just called being American. I think you actually just raised as a young American man.
Occasionally spice it up with a cerveza, por favor, instead of a beer, please, just to keep it multilingual.
Yeah. My dad always taxed on things he really liked, which was like Smarties, or there were some candies where it was like Rich is taking dad tax.
Yeah.
Sometimes the tax seems a little heavy too, but he doesn't tax you on some of the other stuff. So
right. And I mean, Halloween night, you're probably willing to give up some Smarties because you're like, I've got like 30 Reese's peanut butter cups.
That's going to keep you off the rest of my stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Take your Smarties.
See, my dad always he's never a big sweets guy, and then every once in a while, like the right amount of just a little bit stoned, and all of a sudden, the man wants his classics, his the Baby Ruth. Yeah. And that's where the Baby Ruth gets taken right out of the Halloween bag.
Where are the Whoppers?
Yeah, Mike's definitely a Whoppers guy, a Yoo-Hoo guy. Although he would call a Yoo-Hoo a chocolate soda, and I'm like, don't call it that. That's something about that's it's wigging me out in a really significant way.
I don't know why, but that is inappropriate.
Yeah, just likes all the weird old shitty candy, basically. I think I talked about it on the podcast before, so stop me if I did, but like trick-or-treating with kids that have allergies, and you got to do the trades afterwards. Yeah, it's a good way to get a lot of Reese's peanut butter cups.
Yeah. I definitely took advantage of some of those.
Yeah, I mean, I always offered up good candy, but for me, it's like, dude, nothing's going to match up with the Reese's. Like, you can have a fucking Starburst, whatever.
The highest I'm willing to offer is a Fireball. I will go no higher than Fireball.
Your peanut allergies will kill you, or
it's not my fault. I didn't give you the peanut allergy.
You're trading damaged goods. Look, watch any of these players in the NBA. You hit a certain age.
Supply and demand.
Not going to get
no demand on your side, my friend. Plenty of supply.
Although, if there's only one kid with peanut allergies and there's like 7 kids that don't, now you've got a competitive market.
True.
Now you've got to deal with. Now this is.
I think we're all on the same page, though.
Your collusion. Look, nobody break on Ricky's price here.
Somebody sets the bar at Fireball. Everybody goes, all right, don't go too far over that. Don't come in here with like Airheads. Or something.
Offer Sour Patch Kids. Are you fucking nuts?
You son of a bitch!
You just fucked up free agency for 2 years, dude. I got goddamn Deshaun Watson.
I was going to say fully guaranteed. Damn it.
You fucked us this year and next year.
You're going to give them all those Sour Patch Kids now?
That is fantastic. Okay, Chris, this is one. We're going to do etymology. And this is great because I do not know this one going in.
Oh,
I've never looked
Hangover?
it up. Yeah, I've never looked it up
This
either.
is a fun one. So way back in the Dizzy, bars used to have to provide accommodations for people who got too drunk. It could be a bed or whatever. The cheapest accommodation was a literal rope that you could just hang over the rope. And I guess a lot of people, when they were really drunk, would go for the rope because they're like, I'm just going to pass out anyway. I don't need like a bed. I'll just sleep on this rope. And that's where the term being hungover comes from. It's being hungover a rope.
Just like a wet rag on a boxing ring.
I can't believe that they had enough laws that they're like, you have to provide something for people. And then they're like, well, we got a rope. And people were like, good enough?
Yeah, that'll work.
Good. Yeah.
As long as they're not in the streets. How many people were in the streets? Like,
right. They're just walking around with rope.
Fuck, man. That is fantastic. And then, I mean, that complicates things further, too, because now you've got a person that's going to wake up. Definitely not a person you want to deal with, because they're either going to still be drunk, which is more likely, or they're just going to have the gnarliest hangover because they were too drunk to leave the bar, and then they
and
slept
all their
on
blood
a
is
rope.
in their head.
Yeah, they're not going to be in the right headspace.
Yeah.
That guy's going to be so ornery. It makes a lot more sense why hangover cures were such a big deal, because these days I'm like, yeah, hangovers suck, but also deal with your own fucking problems. Like, you don't need to make that. Back then, hangovers must have been just so legendary where it's like, doctor, please give me an Eggs Benedict. I'm not a doctor, but I will give you the medicine that you need. Because
anytime I've tried a hangover cure, it made it way worse.
They're all, a lot of them are gross. Like, a lot of the ones that are deemed a hangover cure. It's
the only actual cure is hair of the dog. You have to have a little bit more alcohol because you're literally in withdrawals. That's what a hangover is.
Yeah. You just need
a little bit of alcohol. You're laughing.
Yeah. I've always thought of it as, like, if you're camping, you know, because you've got to go multiple days.
Hungover.
Yeah. The next day, you know, first hangover day, it's kind of like you drank yourself into a hole. Yeah. And only beers will get you out of the hole.
Yeah.
You've got to build yourself up with 4 to 6 beers just to get back to steady.
There's also a pacing issue there because then it's a lot of early beers.
True. Early beers lead to early sleeps, but just enough to get
or
the
early
shakes
driving back into town to get more beer.
Very true. You know, it's bad when everyone had an amount of beer that they thought was impossible to drink, and then you hit a point in the evening where you're like, oh my good God.
Impossible has come.
Guys, we had 32 beers a person. We're down to 8. We didn't even pull in till 2 o'clock. Just trying to figure out how we did these numbers.
Yeah, I mean, that reminds me of the only time, and probably the only time we ever will camp together, because that fucking dead body.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's the only time we'll camp together. Probably on that road. Definitely spoiled the road
probably
for me a little bit.
Probably the last time we'll do it in Granite Falls. God, that was crazy. But yeah, I mean, I don't know if it was better or worse to be hungover for that, but
true. Talking about that sort of beer consumption, I did want to take a brief aside here to talk about the time we tried to drink 40 beers in a day in high school. Me and my friend Brady had a bet with our friend Jordy that it was impossible. Brady and I thought it was possible if you timed it out well enough. Blah, blah, blah. So we set the ground rules. We had 16 hours, 10 a.m. to 2 a.m. So we acquired the 40 beers. Unfortunately, we were stuck with Miller High Life, which was not ideal. But so 40 beers over 16 hours, you've got to pace yourself at 2.5 beers per hour.
I think light beer or lighter beer may actually be hard. Rainier's the perfect beer to drink 1,000,000 of.
Yeah.
A light beer, I think, is actually harder to drink 1,000 of because I'm saying this like everybody knows. They don't try to drink 100 beers.
Yeah, you've never
like
tried to do this.
I did that one time. How long did we give ourselves? We were going to try to break Wade Boggs' record combined. And
oh, God.
I think we got a quarter of the way there.
Well, I think we got into the 70s, but yeah, I think we got past the quarter mark, but
it was not a couple hours. We gave ourselves like an entire day plus.
Yeah, it was the better part of a day for sure.
Yeah. Anyhow.
Yeah.
So you're talking about pacing yourself.
Yeah. So Brady made the mistake. He was clocking like 5.25 beers an hour for the first 3 hours. He falls asleep. There were rules around sleeping. If you announced the decision to sleep, you were allowed to take a nap. But if you just passed out with shoes on, shoes was a defining factor.
The shoes on. No.
But I was keeping pace. I was maintaining. I got a little fast at one point. I think I ate some waffles or something. Yeah, things got blurry. But then in the middle of the day, Michael Jackson died.
Oh.
Which was an unexpected curveball.
Yeah, seriously.
Also tells you exactly when we did this.
Yeah. I remember where I was when you were drinking 40 beers in a day.
Where were you? Yeah, so that completely derailed the drinking. Then the pacing went way up. Also, the Michael Jackson song count skyrocketed.
Dude,
unsurprisingly.
you and I were in such different places in our lives. I had never even had alcohol at that point in my life. That day, I was recording a sketch about being like a competitive Connect 4 player and like training to be a Connect 4 champion.
So you were not.
So it's basically like I'm doing the Rocky like workout thing, but I'm a Connect 4 player.
Yeah.
That's what I was doing.
Not on your 31st high life.
Exactly. That's what I was doing while you were having the time of your life.
Yeah, listening to tracks that leaked off of the never-released Dr. Dre album, Detox. Again, a good example of where we were in our lives. But sorry, that I had to break us up a little bit there. So now I think we've got headlines, Chris. So
headlines. Where are we at on time?
I think we got 20 minutes or so.
Okay. I think we got some time for headlines then. Our education segment, we have to make sure our listeners are educated. It's illegal for any person to own 6 or more dildos in the state of Texas. Why 6?
Yeah, 6 seems weird.
I get it. I kind of agree. 6 is a lot. There's not even 6. There can't even be more than like 6 sizes that is worth having. You could just find like, you're not going to go that small. Use a brush or something. You have it in the house.
There's so many different burger joints that I order burgers from. There's got to be a reason for the season for all these.
So you're saying like there could be more of a curve to...
Yeah, like, sometimes, this isn't my most effective. But you know what? Right now...
You could get one of those ones that kind of looks like ginger where it's kind of got like an extra, like a thing branching off. Although, is that a dildo or is that a vibrator? You know what I mean?
Well, my guess is that Texas isn't differentiating.
This law was made in the 70s, which is why this came up. There are people who are using this as an example for outdated laws.
Okay.
That's why this is news, because obviously the 70s is not news. I don't think they had vibrators then. I bet you they would have said full stop, no vibrators. Back then.
Get your mechanical devilry out of my...
You go and sit on the dryer like a regular woman.
Yeah, exactly. You've got to run the bath and just kind of angle under it.
Buy a Harley for fuck's sakes. That is a lot of dildos, though. I also wonder what happened that somebody was like, new rule. Like, we got to make a fucking law.
Yeah, but again, somebody with 5, that just feels like one of the Congress people had exactly 5 and was like, listen.
Yeah. Do you still get arrested for 5? Is it like when you have like just under the legal threshold for weed or something?
Oh, where it's like not a crime, but they confiscate it? Look, if you're going to take my dildos, just take me to fucking jail, dude. All right? You're going to debase yourself in that way. You know what? Just take me to fucking jail.
Yeah. What if you just want all the colors of the rainbow? They're all the same size.
Listen, I've seen a lot of different penises on the internet. I can understand wanting variety. I do think that you probably want, because they're always talking about dishwasher safe, and I'm always like, I'm not just going to have one dildo in the mix with all my
dishwasher safe.
So then that's where it makes sense. If you've got like 12, it's like, okay, this load is dedicated to,
That would be jarring to come home. You're just trying to be nice, unload the dishwasher. 6 dildos.
Well, if it's your first time.
5 dildos.
Right, 5 and a quarter.
I'm not going to assume this person's breaking the law.
True. Yeah, I definitely think that it would be alarming if it's never happened before and you were previously unaware of their existence. So you opened the dishwasher that you thought had dishes in it. Yeah. It's like 12 silicone penises.
Yeah, I'm hung up on the number part of this.
Yeah, I mean, I think that is kind of the key. Because it would make more sense for it to be fully illegal than have 6.
Yeah.
It's like
no fake wieners.
Yeah. We don't want more than 6 people getting in the mix. One dildo to each person. All right. And 6 is the max.
Yeah, per household. Okay. A restaurant renamed its menu items as office supplies so customers could expense them. This is amazing.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
Give me a screwdriver.
First of all, whoever wrote this article is a snitch. They ruined it all.
Yeah.
Just make that clear. I do think that I'll say this. the type of company that's reimbursing you for expenses can probably afford the fucking stapler that is actually a cheeseburger anyways. And beyond that, you're probably going to try to find a way to mix it into other things. Like, for instance, I can't just expense anything at home. Like, if I bought a stapler today, they'd be like, dude, what the fuck was that?
Yeah.
I don't have that ability. So I'm saying if you can get away with it, have the fuck at it.
Also, does it say the name of the restaurant in here? Because I feel like...
Oh, maybe they didn't fully snitch on them.
I feel like that could be a giveaway. Because it can't be like I went to Applebee's and got a stapler. Like, it has to have a clever name, too, right?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, because, I mean, are you going to change the name of the restaurant on the... It's like, they make me take pictures of receipts and shit. Like, I'm curious if it worked. I'll say that.
Space.
Yeah.
That's what I'd call it.
There's a will, there's a way.
Okay. Switzerland... Jesus Christ. Let me start that over. Switzerland made it illegal to own just one guinea pig because they get lonely.
I mean, I'm down.
Who has...
Pair them up.
Yeah, I kind of question anybody who has more than one guinea pig, though. You know what I mean? Have you ever met somebody with multiple guinea pigs?
Yeah, they were almost arrested in Switzerland for it. They were under the thumb of the law.
Yeah, I don't know. Guinea pigs are strange.
It's definitely...
They're a fun pet for somebody else to have.
Yeah, and they do feel a lot like a childhood pet more than something... Not that I wouldn't be super down, but none of my friends are currently like, you want to see my guinea pig?
Exactly.
I mean,
yeah, shit, I don't know anybody who has a guinea pig right now.
Yeah.
But when I was in grade school, I knew at least a half dozen people who had
guinea pigs, hamsters,
our
gerbils.
Class pet, guinea pig.
Yeah.
Always by themselves, though. All animals get lonely, though, right?
I mean, I think that's a life they choose.
What about the poor dogs in Switzerland? They're pack animals, for Christ's sake.
I think that maybe the idea is like, look, obviously you can fit two fucking guinea. If you have room for one, you got room for two.
Yeah.
You can figure it out.
They don't need that big of a cage. They do not move that much. Give them some company. All right. We are moving on to... Do we have Gucci or Greasy this week? We do. Ah, shit. This is also me. All right. Gucci or Greasy ordering a burger at a Mexican restaurant?
Oh, man. I feel like on these topics, I almost never feel like I say Gucci a lot. I really try not to yuck anybody's yum. But what are you doing?
Exactly. Don't go to a Mexican restaurant. If you wanted a hamburger, go somewhere else.
I understand. Like, if you're in a more rural place and maybe, the Mexican was the only show in town, right? But like Seattle, like, why in God's name are you doing this?
Okay, so this happened in front of me. I went to Mexican food with Katie's family, and her mother was like, "They have the best hamburger here."
How would you know?
Why would you know? Why would you do this? Why the fuck would you? Unless they said, "Hey, we're out of all of our Mexican food."
All of it.
Yeah.
No queso fundido, no nothing, dude. Yeah. No flan.
It's all gone. You can have a hamburger, though. There's no other reason to go anywhere else. Also, Mexican food is expensive. Those restaurants are expensive.
Yeah.
That had to be a pricey hamburger for... Go get a $4 hamburger. All right, I know this is wrong. I know what I'm about to say is wrong, but I think I'm kind of making a point here. Hamburger's a hamburger. It can only get so bad, and it can only get so good. You're going to get a good hamburger pretty much any place you go, I think. You didn't have to do it at the Mexican restaurant.
I think that there's certainly levels to it, but I'm not trusting the Mexican restaurant with, like you've pointed out, with those costs. I'm not taking that chance.
I'm not getting a luxury hamburger.
No.
I'll go to Red Robin if I'm going to pay these types of burger prices.
Yeah, Red Mill. Like, there's plenty of little chicken burger. I mean, there's a shitload of places. Lil Woody's. There's all... And to your point as well on, like, you can go cheaper for a burger. You could go to Dick's. You could go to Wendy's and get a classic single and save yourself $10 and not do this bizarre stuff. Going to the Mexican joint.
But at those places, can you eat a hamburger with the ambiance of mariachi?
That is an extremely good point. And also, do you get free chips with it? So that, there is some balance there.
So the cost is kind of starting to pay for itself.
A little bit, but you were there with Katie's family. You probably had a table of 6. You probably It's probably like a $150 meal.
Dude, I tell you what, I was floored when she ordered it.
Yeah.
It's one thing to say they have a good hamburger here, but then to do it again.
Yeah.
Insane.
Yeah, I've never even considered it. I know that they do it in theory.
I don't even look at that part of the menu. Yeah. I know where it is. I know what it says.
But it's basically in the kids' menu zone.
Exactly. I thought that was for children.
Yes. Yeah, it's over there next to the pigs in the blanket and the moon's over my hammy or whatever.
So it's definitely greasy. Could not possibly be greasier.
Yeah, I think we're fully aligned on that one. Okay. Now we're going to go on to our Wikipedia page for this week. And I think we'll get some laughs out of this one. It's a fun concept. I think we'll at least be able to talk about the things we would do.
24 hours of Jack Lemmon.
24 hours of Jack Lemmon. So the 24 hours of lemons, sometimes stylized so that you would say it Le Mans, but it is 24 hours of lemons, is a series of endurance races.
Oh, you've already lost me.
So here's the very high level overview, and we can get into specific rules, but obviously it's a play on words of the 24 hours of Le Mans. We're doing an endurance race, but your maximum cost for your car is $500. And really the endurance is seeing how long, because these are going to break down. It's not like the real Le Mans race where these are the best cars in the world and they're clearly going to run 24 hours. A lot of these cars are not going to run. I think the 14 hours is the length of the race.
How new of a Hyundai accent can I get for $500?
Now, here's a very interesting rule. I do want to talk about a little bit of this. So one thing is, and we'll start with the least fun rule, $500 doesn't include safety equipment, and there are minimums for that. So there's, roll cage requirements, blah, blah, blah.
That's good.
Yeah, right. I'm glad they're doing that.
Devices and stuff.
Exactly. So yeah, 6-point roll cage, full face Snell helmet or better. It's got to be fire extinguisher and a suppression system, racing harness, fire suit. Yes, head and neck support. So there's your Hans system, and driver seat must reach the middle of the helmet or higher. Yeah, so there's a bunch of safety rules, but one interesting thing about the cost, you are able to buy potentially a vehicle for $2,000 if you can sell parts off of it to get it under $500. So yeah, if you
holy shit,
really a game changer.
Give me a car with 7 catalytic converters.
And I will say one thing that is interesting about it, because I was curious about this, they do factor in work on the car. So you can't buy something and then sink in like 100 hours of mechanic work if you're a professional mechanic. Like, that's against the spirit. The idea is that, yeah, like you can work on it a little bit, but this is supposed to kind of be like you get the car and other than the shit you rip off to sell, you kind of have to drive. It's
supposed to be kind of like a Pinewood Derby type of.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I like that.
So, and apparently, so it started in 2006. There was an earlier event called the Double 500, which was a 500-kilometer road rally. Same rule, $500 max. But the event was too easy. Like, basically, a lot of these beater cars were at least getting through the 500. So that's where they went full endurance race. And they do quite a few. They actually do multiple per year. It's taken off to an extent. But yeah, labor and sponsorships are figured into the cost. So if you work on your car, that's taken, you could crack your $500, but you could get a sponsorship back and potentially bring your money back down as well. And then, 14 and a half hours long.
Jesus Christ.
It is split into 2 days. And then there's a punishment system called the Wheel of Misfortune.
I already love this punishment system in racing. That's beautiful.
Yeah, so you can there are certain penalties or certain things, like if somebody calls bullshit on the cost of your car, you can have certain penalties assessed where like animals, like toy animals, can be welded to your roof to fuck with the aerodynamics.
I love that.
Any car that flips upside down during the process of the race is slapped with a "why am I upside down" penalty. The team is disqualified for the current race and the driver is barred from other races for a year. There's one where you have to mime your crime, where a driver must put on white face paint and a beret and mime what they did wrong.
That's the best one. Oh, that is incredible.
Yeah, they also do some topical ones, on a year-to-year basis, but those are the regular ones.
I want to be involved in this.
I know, it sounds like a lot of fun.
I'll put 250 in if you put 250 in.
I'm down to try to get a beater.
Your focus. No, how much you get for your focus?
I got 1,500 for it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's too rich.
Exactly, right? But a focus could be acquired.
Although maybe sell the catalytic converter. How much are those going for now? That might have brought it down.
That's a great question. So yeah, if you had your druthers, let's say, you could, what's the car that you would try to get if you could most realistically, excuse me, how should I phrase this? The car that you would want to get that's actually realistic for the price. Like, what do you think you would try to get your hands on for under $500?
How many cars are in the field?
It's a few dozen. It's quite a few.
I might go for like an old Ford Ranger because I feel like you can get that pretty cheap, pretty reliable, and it could take some bumping into.
True.
Probably low enough center of gravity too that you probably won't flip it. So I don't want to be upside down.
No, that
those rules.
Especially in an old, like, regardless of the safety precautions. And
my mind first went to Honda Civic. That was
exactly what I was immediately going with, either a Honda Civic or a like 90s Toyota. Just one of those cars that it seems like you could remove the engine and somehow it would still run. Yeah. I'm not sure how this is happening.
Maybe if I could get like an extremely pissed on Porsche. Like just the worst.
And then you could sell some stuff off of it probably.
I'll sell everything. It'll just be a roll cage. Use a tarp for the exterior.
That is beautiful. Okay. We're going to wrap up here. We've got some This Week in History questions, and we'll get out of here. We'll start with a nice Chris-friendly question. June 26, 1977, Elvis Presley holds what will prove to be his final concert at Market Square Arena in Indianapolis, Indiana. Have you ever seen any artists live who are no longer touring, either due to death or retirement?
I saw Tom Petty right before he died.
That's fucking sick.
Like a couple months. He was at Safeco. The weird thing was there's like a weird sound thing.
And it said Tom Petty's gonna die.
Yeah. Well, no, I bumped into this. I was very chatty because I'd had some beer, and I started talking to one of the ushers, and I ran into her next baseball season, and I recognized her, and I started talking to her, and she's like, I remember you from somewhere. I was like, yeah, we talked during the Tom Petty concert when they had an issue with the sound. And she's like, oh, I don't work concerts anymore. And I was like, why is that? She's like, well, I hadn't worked a concert since 1970. That was Janis Joplin. And she died a couple months later. And then I worked Tom Petty. He died a couple months later. It's like, you definitely shouldn't do any more concerts.
No.
You were.
Unless you're trying to take somebody out.
Yeah.
Unless you're like, sorry, Rick Astley, today's the day, motherfucker. Yeah. I just picked up a swing shift.
Yeah. Can you please do Zach Brown Band? Because I'm sick of all the MAGA talk.
I've not seen, I can't think of anybody I've seen before they passed, but I did see Elton John on his retirement tour. That's a solid one.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen Billy Joel probably 8 times, and I don't think he's touring anymore. So
that's awesome. Well, haven't you seen the Eagles? And it's like, of course, we've still got some surviving members, but with Glenn no longer around.
I didn't see him with Glenn Fry.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's fair.
So none of the Eagles have kicked off since I've seen him.
That's valid.
But Joe Walsh can't be far.
Dude,
I don't know how he's alive even now.
I was 7 years old watching an episode of Drew Carey Show with my dad, and Joe Walsh showed up on an episode, and my dad at that point was like, I'm not sure how he's still alive. That was 25 fucking years ago. That was a long time ago.
Joe can't be stopped.
No, he is. I mean, he did actually fully dry out and just managed to actually survive it because he woke up on some other continent and he did not remember getting on the plane. Yeah. I think it'd be one thing to wake up in a different state. I would be alarmed. But to wake up in like Brazil, like, holy shit, I don't speak the language. Yeah. I got really fucked up.
I mean, the proof's in the pudding, right? Maybe throwing hotel TVs and pools is good for you.
True. I mean, it didn't work for Belushi, but
good point.
One half. It worked for one half of the equation.
Wasn't enough TVs.
I'm gonna jump past this one for a second. June 28th, 1997. Evander Holyfield versus Mike Tyson 2. Mike Tyson is disqualified in the third round for biting a piece off of Evander Holyfield's ear. If you have to get disqualified from a boxing match, what are you doing? What's your move?
Something with the balls.
See, I was immediately thinking, now is it with their balls or mine? I was thinking I get naked. They're not going to show me dick and balls out on TV. They're going to be like, clearly he's having a psychic break. But yeah, his balls, really anybody's balls, the ref's balls.
Yeah.
All of these are...
We both go for the ref's balls. Yeah. They can't declare a winner if we both do it.
Attacking
we can split.
See, I do like the idea of a disqualification that I'm not harming the other guy. Like, I'm just like, I've had enough of this. I'm not taking it out on my opponent or the ref. I'm just going to literally pull out my own testicles.
I was thinking if I'm getting disqualified, it's because I'm angry. And if I'm angry, I probably really hate the other person.
True. That's where their balls get involved.
Exactly.
Yeah,
balls.
That's very true.
Or my balls in their face. Honestly, the first thing I thought was I'd pee in their water. But...
that's hard to do during
exactly the odds of me getting a hold of their water, peeing in it, and then them drinking it. Also, like making somebody else drink your pee is probably not very cool. So, had to go with balls.
A lot to consider.
Had to go with balls.
What's the strangest thing you've ever seen during a live sporting event? Because the bite fight has to be up there with most unexpected, especially considering the number of people that saw it.
Yeah, and Malice at the Palace is way up there.
Yeah, that's infamous.
That one time LeBron James' dick didn't get blurred.
I don't know if I ever saw LeBron's dick.
Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
It's pretty good.
He's an athlete.
Yeah. That's one of those things that makes you go, whoa!
Yeah.
What do I see there?
Quite the show. Okay, June 30th, 1953, the first Chevrolet Corvette rolls off the assembly line in Flint, Michigan. Do you have a dream car?
Those like 60s Corvette Stingrays are really hot. 57 Chevy Bel Air.
That's mine. The 57 Bel Air is mine.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, there's a long list of Ferraris and stuff that are sweet, but I also kind of wouldn't want them because, like, you can't do what they're meant to do in them, even.
Right. Like, taking that to the grocery store, you're not really going to get to open it up.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know, like a GTO or a Mustang. I don't know. I'd be pretty happy with pretty much any 60s or 70s muscle car.
That's fair. That's fair. Okay, July 1st, 1903. Start of the very first Tour de France race. What sporting event would you least want to participate?
Tour de France. I don't know. I was going to say anything where I have to run. I'm no good running for more than 5 minutes, and even then I think I'd want a cardiologist present.
Yeah, make sure I don't croak on this.
Yeah, I can do like a minute on, minute off. I'm just not I'm a sprinter. I can sprint a good 40 yards pretty fast, especially for my size. Probably not fast for people, but
for John Q. Public.
Yeah, for me. I'm definitely quicker than you'd think, but yeah, not a long distance deal at all. But now you're telling me I have to sit on a bike, my ass is getting chapped, I've got to drive through France. I would have cheated too if I would be getting through France as fast as I fucking could as well.
You got to go up mountains that you should be going down.
Yeah.
This is not good, guys. Yeah, I think that's the best. I mean, marathon would be absurd for me, but
right.
That's more of a sporting event. I was more thinking of it in the spirit of like more direct competition.
Yeah. That's a death sentence. It's not a sport.
Yeah. Tour de France would be way up there. Also, well, actually these days all the motorsports are basically cool. I don't want a bullfight. I'll say that. No bullfighting.
Bullfight. Definitely not.
Keep the bullfighting.
Way too big of a target, not agile enough.
No. I'm fucked. I'm cooked. Those guys are all svelte for a reason.
It's one of those things I can't believe people still do.
Yeah. Definitely feels like something from 500 years ago for a reason. All right. Final question. We'll wrap up. June 28th, 1859. The first dog show is held in Newcastle, England. Do you like the dog show?
I don't, but I always watch it and I'm licking it. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, who put this on? And then I watch them like, look at that fucking dog.
Yeah. It's a beautiful specimen.
Yeah. It's a good dog.
I do like the dog shows, but I admit I'm much more fond of the agility shows, you know, because also there's mutts involved.
Yeah.
Like, it's just go for it.
They're not just kind of walking.
Yeah, exactly. It's not like dressage, like, oh, the horse is looking fancy. So I do like them, though. I do like them.
Dog fashion show.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that's it for this week.
That has been the Second Lunch Podcast. Thank you guys so much for listening. Turns out we have 60 listeners in China.
Okay.
Yeah, I did a dive on our analytics.
Man,
you think they're spies?
Feds are after us.
We are in trouble.
We're cooked.
But thank you for listening. Please follow us: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X. If you're into that type of thing, I pretty much only post weird food thoughts on there. But anyway, Jordan, love you all. Bucks and six.